Well, this is my lucky year. This year I drew a antelope permit. It wasn't just any antelope permit. There's only 50 tags in the area, and it's a muzzleloader tag. I haven't hunted with my muzzleloader in probably 20, 25 years, but we're going to do it this year. So we're on the range today. We're going to explain to you what we're going to do with the muzzleloaders, what some of the rules are in Idaho. So stand by. We're going to have a great show today. I love being on the range. Well, I've got two muzzleloaders, and one of them's a Winchester, one of them's a Traditions. We're going to sight both of them in today and make sure that they're on the money. But some of the rules in Idaho are a little bit different than other places. Here we have to shoot a conical bullet or a round ball with a patch. It has to be lead or lead alloy. We can't use 209 primers. We have to use number 11s or musket caps. So I've set mine up to shoot musket caps years ago with my fingers the way they are. Dexterity's not that great. I just like using the musket cap. So today we're going to go through loading. The muzzleloader is shooting it. So the first thing we're going to start with is we're going to start with the Winchester. It's got fiber optic sights. It's probably I bought this muzzleloader in the 1990s, late 1990s. So, and it's been a great old gun. So this is what I'm going to use this year. I'm just going to use the Traditions for a backup. And on the Traditions, I put a peep sight on it, an old Williams peep sight. These have fiber optic sights, and they're just a great, great gun. First thing I'm going to do is I've already checked it to make sure that they're clean and they weren't loaded anyway. And so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pop the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a couple of cabs. I'm going to pop a couple of cabs to make sure that there's no moisture in the barrel. Blow in there just to make sure that there's no hot spots in it. First thing we're going to do is point it away from us, and I'm going to load it with 100 grains of, today I'm using Kick black powder. I bought it a long time ago, but it's still great black powder. It's FFG. In Idaho, we can't use anything but loose powder, so it's either black powder or loose Pyrodex. We can't use the pellets at all. We're going to drop 100 grains of powder in this old muzzleloader. I couldn't find the bullets that I wanted, so I cast my own. The lightest bullet I could find on the market was 350 grains. I wanted around 250, so I bought a Lee bullet mold, and we cast our own. Going to use the ball starter to get it started. Then I'm going to tap it a couple of times, just out of old habit from doing old things. Then I'm going to cap it. I've got a Target down there at 100 yards. I'm going to put it on safe. And I really like shooting off these stands. This is the way I'll be shooting when I go antelope hunting probably. I'm going to put it on fire. Make sure there's no hot embers in there. With that black powder, it doesn't take much to start fouling the barrel. There we go. We're going to try to get a third shot out of it before we clean it. What we're going to do now is we're going to show you how to clean a muzzleloader. I made some moose milk, what I call moose milk, from a recipe from a book that I got from the 1950s. And I forgot to bring a cup today or something to do it in, so we're going to take a water bottle and Gonna cut it off. Notice I keep my moose milk in a canteen so I can shake it up. What this is it's a fourth of a cup of Murphy's oil soap and a fourth of a cup of water-soluble oil, machine oil, and there's such a thing as water-soluble oil. And then I put it in a 2-liter Pepsi bottle and add the rest of the way up with distilled water. And it's a heck of a cleaning solution for muzzle loaders. Cuts that black powder right out of it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take and soak that in the moose milk for a second. After we soak the moose milk, I'm going to take the ramrod. I'm going to put the patch end on it. I'm going to run it right down the bore. And as I go down and back and forth, I'm going to keep scrubbing that bore. And see how black that comes out? Just like tar. And I'm going to do 2 or 3 of those patches like that. Not nearly as bad that time. Then we'll run a dry patch down it. This doesn't take the place of taking out the breech plug and cleaning it thoroughly, but this does get you to where you can keep shooting and keep hunting after you shot a few rounds. Now I'm going to pop a couple of caps just to make sure that it's dry in there. Should be dry. Now we'll load it again and we'll shoot it again. So yeah, that is the load after you clean it. That's all there is to it with a muzzle loader. Pretty simple once you get to going with them. Just love shooting them. And now we're going to continue on, and I'm going to go and tape up the target, check it, and then we'll shoot the traditions a little bit. Winchester shot really good at 3-inch group at 100 yards. Now we're going to do the same thing with the traditions. I've had this since the early 1990s. Probably one of the first ones traditions came out with. But it still shoots great. So what we're going to do is we're just going to Pop a couple of caps just to make sure that it is dry inside. I checked them before I left the house to make sure they weren't loaded. One thing you have to remember on the old traditions is it goes on safe every time you open the bolt. So make sure we don't have anything in there. No hot embers in there at all. We're also going to shoot 100 grains of powder, a black powder. FFG black powder is what we're using today. Remember, in the state of Idaho, we have some pretty tight restrictions on what we can use and what we can't use. Well, the guy that lubed that, he got enough lube on that one, I'll tell you that. It also says in the state of Idaho regulations that you have to have an exposed cap. So you have to be able to see your cap down in there when you're ready to, when you're hunting, when the bolt's closed. So both of these meet that criteria. And that gets tight after the first shot with that black powder. And we'll try one more shot before we clean it. Now we'll go through the same process with this one. We'll clean it, and I think we'll be ready to go on our muzzleloader hunt for antelope in southern Idaho. Now we're going to travel down to southern Idaho, and we're going to do some scouting of that area. I haven't been down there in a few years, so we're going to go look for some antelope, look the country over, and thank you so much for watching. Now would be a good time for you to subscribe to Bannock Outdoor Television. We've got a lot of good things coming this fall, and just keep watching us, subscribe, and share with a friend. Thanks for watching.